What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we spoke about some of my transfers, some of my plans moving forward. The last month's been more around videos around scouting and preparing for the summer, but let's get into my gallery and where my head's at. We're going to be taking a look at any transfers that I made, but also looking forward to what my plans are for the next couple of months and preparing for the European season. So let's get into it. Transactions then, since last time that we spoke. What's gone on? So I sold Louis Arrejo. The reason why I sold this guy is because he was so frustrating as a player. To watch, but also look at them scores. All right, he popped up with the 97. I can't remember when I sold him. I don't think I managed to get that 97 in before I moved him on. But all of these scores, these 37s, 45, 42. It's just so annoying. Yes, he's capable of AA scores, but he just wasn't getting that decisive. And I actually saw a stat on him. Now, don't quote me for this, but it was something along these lines. Like in the last 3 to 4 years, wherever he's been, in that sort of period, he's only scored or had something like 7 decisives. Or only scored 3 times and had 4 assists. Something, I'd have to go back and check it all, but there was some outrageous stat that, as I said, in the last 3 seasons, he's just been decisive-wise terrible. The other good thing about this is that 1, he's now suspended, and 2, he's actually just signed for a Brazilian club, and I can't think of who it is. It's one of the big boys out there, though, and he's obviously moving on from the MLS, still in the America region, but I don't see him starting week in and week out to the new club that he's gone to, so I'm happy to have moved him on. If we look at where I moved him on from, I mean, since that news, you can see he's obviously plummeted. But if we take off them 4 sales there, you'll be able to see that I probably sold him a touch too cheap, 0.0, about 50 quid too cheap. But I just wanted him out because I wanted to make some other moves. So he has gone. I then had Zekka as a reward. Now, this guy, when he played for Daegu, he was a lot better than playing for this club, even though this club might be a bit better than them in general. But when he had Savarino with him as well, they played really well. You can see here from, if I filter this by Daegu, there you go. You can see he was regularly scoring, but since he's made that transition, he's had a couple of good games at the beginning, but then he kind of lost his place. He's been in and out, and I didn't really see him fitting into the gallery, so I did move him on as well. And the reason why I moved both of those on is because I wanted to pick up a better forward. And Savarino is one that's always caught my eye. He is basically the best player in a bad team. Along with Pablo Ruiz in there as well as a centre middle. I think it's a decent player, can obviously knock it around a little bit. But I wanted another guy who had good AA, but capable of decisives. And as we can tell there, look at all of those greens. This guy is clearly capable of it. Now, in a previous video that I've done, I actually said how safe this guy is because he left Real Salt Lake, he went somewhere else, and then he come back and obviously signed a new deal with them, and you can see there that it expires in 2025. But in the last couple of days, I think he's just secured his Italian passport, which makes me think, why is he doing it at this stage? So there could be a little bit of risk there, but who knows? He was out for this game because of personal reasons, but I have read this week on Twitter, or there's been some news being reported that he is back for this weekend, which is good, and it's a good fixture for him, even though that he is away. So in the grand scheme of things, I am happy with this signing. I think he's a better player than Arrejo. He's obviously more consistent, and we just have to see. We'll have to see what happens in the future with him. So welcome to the club, Savarino. Then after that, I had 2 rewards. I had Branthwaite come in. I can't remember what this was, whether it was like a tier 3 or I can't even remember the team that I won it from. Probably a Rare Pro team, maybe the All-Star Rare Pro. And I was umming and ahhing about him. I listed him up straight away because I was like, right, get me because there were some other couple of players that I wanted to get in. And as I've said before, I've got my watch list. I've got the people that I want to get into the gallery to ensure that I'm building by the players that I want, rather than the players that just come in as rewards and I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm not playing them. I don't feel comfortable week in and week out playing them. So I listed him up straight away, and then I started to do a little bit more research on him, and apparently big clubs are after this guy. Apparently Bayern Munich have watched him. Maybe Man United are interested as well. So I took him down straight away, and I've played him for the last couple of weeks. Not from this 75. I don't think I've got that one in, but the last 2 weeks, I put him one in an all-star lineup and then in a cap 240 lineup as well. It's annoying that he got that because that would have got me threshold, which I haven't been able to get in a long time because I haven't been playing a goalkeeper, but I'll come onto that in a minute. But he's a good player. Now, Everton, I believe, has already rejected an approach from PSV in January to sign him permanently. But he... to sign him permanently, yeah. But if he goes back there, say Everton get relegated this weekend, I could see him kind of being there as their first choice centre back, even though that he's competing with Tarkowski and all the other guys, Yerry Mina, and there's a few others there. But I think that they'll see him as a player who will definitely make a difference to their back line and somebody that they can really build on. And whether he helps them get promoted again or whether they move him on for a larger transfer fee because he's been playing more regular football, then, you know, they're in a win-win position there. But what I have done is I decided and I thought to myself, well, do you know what? I'm not going to get any utility out of this guy for the next 2.5, 3 months because obviously the season is coming to an end. So what I decided to do was think to myself, well, even if he goes up to 0.13, right? Say he goes up 0.1, can I accumulate that back by the player that I wanted to pick up? And I think that I can. And, you know, I could always buy him back eventually. So I picked up an Eric Thommy or Thommy who plays at Sporting KC. Now, I've banged on about this guy in my last couple of videos as well, because I do think that he's a bargain, considering the scores that he come into when he come into the league. The scores that he was hitting was very, very good. And Sporting KC did start to turn a corner here around the Seattle win, and they smashed Minnesota 3-0. They, you know, went toe-to-toe with the best team in the league. And then this weekend, they got absolutely smashed 4-0. Yeah, just got taken apart. And I'm actually surprised that the manager hasn't gone. All right, you could say out of the last 4, he's had 2 wins and a draw. But before that, look at how abysmal that run is. And I think that they've got to turn a point. They've got to say to themselves that we can't carry on doing this. And whether that's a change of manager from the top or whether that's the players getting together and then all of a sudden just getting on that couple of games, getting that confidence back in. But anyway, yeah, this guy's come from Stuttgart. When he come in, he was tearing up the league, and it's just his prices have declined over the period of time because of those performances, obviously. Now, if we go for the 6 months, you can tell here that he was going for 0.35. He's now going all the way down here for like 0.08. So the deal that I'd done for this guy, let me bring it up so you can see it on screen. The trade that I done was 0.05 ETH plus Branthwaite in there. So, you know, the equivalent of just under 0.1, which is kind of what he's been going for to bring in Thommy. Now, Thommy hasn't got any new mints at the moment. I don't know whether they missed Media Day, but nobody from Sporting KC seems to have new mints. So he is a player that could make a difference. You know, not many people have him. I don't know how many have been minted in total. It looks around about 40 maybe since 2021. But I do have faith for this guy, and as you know, I do own a Johnny Russell as well, so I compare those guys together, a decent forward and a decent midfielder. Now, what's happened since then is, let me jump over and load up Sorare because I'll show you this. I come 12th in All-Star Rare Pro and won myself a tier, I'd like to say a tier 1. I think it was a tier 1. We had Zekka doing the business there for us. It could have actually been a lot better, but Brooks Lennon and Lovitz as my 2 super rares really turned up and won myself a tier 1. So this was a midweek one. And the guy I won was a goalkeeper that I can use throughout the summer as well. Kim Jin-Hyun. Now, my pronunciation is absolutely shocking, so apologies. But let's bring this guy up on Sorare data. You can see that he is the number 1 there at Osaka. And he come off and done really, really well last week. I wasn't able to use him because I won him and I couldn't get him into a lineup, etc. But he come off with some decent AA and a clean sheet as well. And you can see here that all of their games are quite low scoring. You have to go back to like this game where there's a bit of a monster goal scoring game. But apart from that, they seem to be quite tight at the back. And again, I went through the same process, listed this guy straight up, and I was like, do you know what? I don't want him. I want somebody else. But for the price that he was going at, he was going for 0.21 and 0.22. And I just thought that was just far too cheap. Because when I can compare him to the other goalkeepers that I'm watching, people like Brad Stuver, people like, who else? Sean Johnson, I'm having a look at as well. I just think that he's too cheap. So I've held on to him, and you can see there that 6 hours ago at auction, he actually went for 0.29. So I didn't actually know that. Now that's a new card as well. I could probably contact some of the people who was bidding on this, might be able to sell him on and get somebody that I want. But all in all, I think he's a fantastic cap goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper that's confident of capable of clean sheets. They have a lot of games throughout the summer. And that's exactly where I've put him in for this week. So it kind of brings you up to speed with exactly where my gallery is at the moment, and I'm really happy with it. I always want to be playing 4 lineups, and at the moment I've got 4 goalkeepers that play. Eloy Room should be coming back from injury, and hopefully he takes that number 1 spot back. Raul Fernandez, he was, I banged on about him as well, how good he was all year for me. Look at all of that. He won me a Jude Bellingham. He won me loads of things, loads of players and loads of cards. But he did get injured and now has kind of lost his pace, and, I won't use him for the rest of the season. Whether he retains his position or gets it back next year, who knows? And then Marc Martinez, I'm predicting that this guy moves on because he is the captain at that club. And Eskandel was another goalkeeper that I've had my eye on all year, but I just never had the sort of spare leave to pick him up because, again, looking at his scores around this batch here, really, really good, just fallen off in the last couple of games. But I don't expect Martinez to hang around if he's number 2 and he is the club captain. So hopefully he gets a move, and I'll pick up the pieces or get some better luck from him. So goalkeeper-wise, I'm okay. I'll probably need one more. If Eloy Room doesn't come back into the fold, I at least need one more because I want to be playing All-Star Rare Pro, All-Star. I want to be playing America Rare Pro and Cap 240. And as I said, if I can keep Eloy Room and he wins it back, then I've got the 4 goalkeepers, or maybe I could even pick up another one and go into into an America Rare, something like that. But from a defender point of view as well, and I'm talking about the summer coming up now, we've got Zimmerman in there, we've got Petretta, we've got Araki, we've got our 2 super rares who I absolutely love. Sviatchenko actually played for Houston Dynamo last night. He had his first 45 minutes. I think he had a clearance off the line as well, but it was in the US Open Cup, so obviously it doesn't count. And then we've got Bartlow in there and Real just from a cap point of view. Real's been coming off the bench a little bit more for Philadelphia, but I am probably 1 player short as a defender. So yeah, I lose Smell, and he's such a good player, Smell. I don't even know whether he just come off the back of another 100. He's such a good player. But I don't know if he moves on. Now, I am thinking about picking up a Kai Wagner. I'm thinking about picking up a Matt Miazda or something like that from Cincinnati. He seems to be playing well. But we need Walker Zimmerman back, and we need him firing as well. From a midfield point of view, really strong now. Lucas Zelleray and Carlos Hill is out injured for a couple of weeks, I think. There's no real news around when he's back, but he managed to pick himself up a yellow card, and I think he either picked that up to get his suspension, knowing that he was going to be out, or maybe that was a totally misunderstanding. I saw something on Twitter around it. But we've got Hector Herrera in there. We've got Thommy in there now, who is a set piece taker. As I said, I compare him with Johnny Russell. We've got Arthur in there for the Cap 240. We've got Gressel as our super rare. And we've got Osario that hopefully comes back in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So from a midfield point of view now, I feel as though I'm quite strong. Maybe I need one more just for rotation. But really, my first point of call is definitely that defender. And then from a forward point of view, I lose Griezmann, which is a real shame because, again, look at his scores. I picked him up and might have been around about here. And then since then, a 97, a 99, 93. He's so good, so good from an AA point of view, and obviously taking all of their set pieces. But, I think I've got one game from him in France that he plays against a really weak team as well. But yeah, for the summer, we've got Johnny Russell, we've got Buanga, we've got Mateus, we've got Savarino in there as well. And I'm probably one short in terms of that rotation. If I want to be playing 4 teams, I don't want just 4 strikers if one gets injured, etc. So maybe 1 or 2 there. And then I'll be totally happy with my summer gallery. So then looking forward, after I secure them missing pieces that I've just spoken about, I am then going to turn my attention to Europe. And get back on, try and make them as strong as possible, those teams, because if I just go second division as well, that would be covered. Yeah, that's probably everything. If I just go here, as I said, I should have 2 starting goalkeepers out of these 3. Definitely Unistal, whether Fernandez gets his position back when they get promoted into La Liga, or whether Martinez moves on and gets a number 1 spot. I should have one there. Only got the 1 defender in there. I've got 3 midfielders. Alcaraz is, useless. He's kind of a capped mode if I'm really struggling. Taylor Booth, he might get a move, which would be very, very interesting if he does. And then we've got Teddy Toomer in there who's a goat. He's going nowhere. And then from a forward point of view, I'm quite strong with my super rare and my rare in there. But as you can see, if we was to kind of have some scales around the kind of America and the Asia region compared to Challenger Europe or Champion Europe, it's massively in favor of the MLS guys in the America region. So I do need to do some I need to pick some guys up basically, and I do have my watch list. I have a few in here, just giving you a sneak preview of this. Kochu, Grimaldo, Octavio is in there as well. We've got Heung-min Son, because hopefully we're going to be better, as I say, Tottenham next season as well. But a few guys in there that potentially I'm looking at picking up, and some out of contract guys there that I'm monitoring as well. So yeah, moving forward, patching up the pieces that I need to have a really, really strong summer, and then after that I'm going onto Europe and trying to pick up those pieces. As I said, I always want 4 teams going out there. Moving on, as I said, it's been a long time since I've spoken about my gallery or showed you any lineups. Coming up, I'll use Sorare data for this. My save lineup for this week, what is it? 2? Yep, it is. All-Star Rare Pro. This is what I've gone with so far. I've gone for Steve Clark in goal. They're playing at home against Austin. And I've got Gressel in there. He's playing away at St. Louis, and that's a tough game for him, but hopefully he can get back onto his big scores that he picked up at the beginning of the season. Got Griezmann at home against Real Sociedad. Tough game there, but again at home, and how capable Griezmann is. We've got Van Cruij and we've got Araki there completing that lineup, which is a pretty strong lineup. If they all play well, no, everyone says that. If they play well, you're going to do something. But I think they're all capable of playing well in the fixtures that they've got to then hopefully pick up a prize. Who else? Moving over to Cap 240. So this is the first time that I'm going to be playing Cap 240 in. Well, it might be the first time since it actually launched, where I'm hopefully going to have 5 starters. So this should give me should definitely get me the threshold. So we've got Kim Jin-Hyun coming in there as well as our starting goalkeeper. So that was the piece that I was missing. Taylor Booth, Petretta, Arta, and Mateus. Those guys are capable. I mean, even if Taylor Booth has another rubbish game, he should be getting me 40. Hopefully, there's some AA there for goalkeeper. And then Petretta and Arta, they kind of always capable around about 45, 50. And then I just need a decisive for Mateus, and I think that we're there or thereabouts. So that'd be good to get some ETH into the club. Now, this is one that's a kind of a little bit hit and miss. It's my America Rare Pro, and I've got Thommy and Johnny Russell in there as that Sporting Kansas City stack. And it's great because they're actually playing at around about 8:30 on UK time, so I can watch that on Sunday night, which is good. And then we've got the Nashville boys, as always, picking up, hopefully picking up some clean sheets and some good points there against Columbus. Though that is a really tough game. They are at home. Nashville is such a tough place to go. So hopefully they can, make that a bit of a fortress. And then we've got Brooks Lennon coming in there as well. And with GG up top there for Atlanta, then I'm expecting more and more assists out of this guy because he takes all of their set pieces. I say all, not the direct free kicks, but from corners and wide area free kicks. This guy is there or thereabouts. And then lastly, we've got an all-star team that I've kind of thrown together. We've got Unistal and Smell playing against Ajax, so I'm not expecting a clean sheet there. Zellaran, as I said, it's a tough place to go, Nashville, so I've chucked him in. Hector Herrera, that's a good fixture for him. He might move into a better lineup. And then Savarino coming in there. At the moment, it says that he's not available, but I think he might be, but I'm definitely going to be doing some research to make sure that I am right in what I'm saying, but be careful with him as well. So yeah, from a stave lineup point of view, this is what it looks like. My 4 teams in there, and hopefully we can get another reward coming this week. Just to touch upon, obviously there's been some mad enhancements, let's call them enhancements for Sorare, and we've got the collection stuff that's happening. Unfortunately, from a collection point of view, where can I go quickly? Yeah, from a collection point of view, I'm a little bit all over the place, so I'm not going to be picking up cards to enhance bonus or get an EXP or whatever, because I'm just not there yet, unless anybody wants to sort of swap me for players that I've already got. Say like I've got 2 Columbus players there, so they're from actually the same year, so that's totally irrelevant. There was somebody in here that I was like, maybe I could swap somewhere. Might have been the Nashville boys. Yeah, because I've already got a Joe Willis, so whether I pair him with Zimmerman, something like that. But I think I'll just wait in case anybody does contact me and it makes sense to me, but I'm not going to be going out there and buying any just yet. But I am really excited about that feature. And then obviously we've got jerseys coming as well. Sometime today, I think it might be around about 4:30 or 6:30, I think. But I'm going to try and potentially get a jersey. I mean, I've got 10,000 points there, over 10,000 points, so I've got 13,000. I did pick up a training lineup, and I don't think it makes sense for me to level up any rare yet. I want to do that when somebody's at like level 9, 9.5, to just, because otherwise it's going to take me ages. But yeah, I might. I don't think it's out there yet, because they're going to go so quickly. I'm assuming it's going to be under merch, but they're going to go so quickly. But Sorare are knocking it out of the park at the moment. Super happy to be a part of this game. I'm enjoying every kind of moment of it. Bring on the weekend, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see some more, hit the subscribe button. And as always, good luck, and I'll see you in the future.